Why do you have to work hard and smart? And how do you do both? Stay tuned and find out.
Welcome.
Okay, here's the question.
Serious?
How are we dark horses? You know, the ones everyone is betting against, the ones they don't expect to win, place, or even show on the track, and they'll even laugh on us when we talk about trying. How do we show the world our greatness and triumph?
Come on.
Well, that's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. This is the Dark Horse Entrepreneur. My name is Tracy Brinkman.
And push it up.
What is up? What is up? What the hell is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Welcome back to your ongoing dose of hard and smart working learning. I'm your Dark Horse host, Tracy Brinkman, and you, well, that, my friend, is infinitely more important. You are a driven entrepreneur, or perhaps you are one in the making. Either way, you're here because you're ready to start, restart, kickstart, and just start leveling up with some great marketing, personal, or business tips and results in order to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it absolutely deserves to be. That's why I'm here hitting you with yet another solo success episode on the Dark Horse Entrepreneur as we dive deep into success with actionable advice, tips, and steps designed to help you level up your game in business and life. Because we already know there are no shortcuts to success except for taking those little steps towards your goal every single day. Now, I know you're getting value from these episodes, right? And especially the amazing guests I've been lucky enough to have on this show. And if you are getting this value, please make sure you go on down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're there, leave us a 5-star rating. Drop some kind words in the reviews. Ask questions. I love you answering the questions to those that listen to this podcast. And I read each and every one of those reviews, so please be sure that's one of your ways to engage. Of course, you can always email me. Now, why should you subscribe, rate, and review this podcast? Well, these subscribed ratings reviews are your way of telling the podcast platform that you are getting that value and that they kick us up a little bit in the rankings so that we can reach more driven entrepreneurs just like you. So if you're getting that value, and I know you are, please take a moment, show the love, and help spread the word. Speaking of those questions, I got asked not too long ago, is it better to work hard or work smart in entrepreneurship, in business in general, in life in general? And coming off the backside of yesterday's episode, off the previous episode with Jackson Milan, where he was talking about you need to work hard and smart, I figured this is a great time to share my thoughts on that. And my thoughts kind of resonate around a quote I seen from Thomas Jefferson, so long ago. And the quote goes, "I'm a greater believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it." Right? Isn't that true? It seems like when you're out there busting hump and grinding away, luck seems to pop its pretty head up and say, "Hey, guy, come on over here. Hey, girl, come on over here," right? So when posed with the question whether you should work hard or smart, you're probably not going to like the answer, and I'm going to stand by it because I absolutely believe the fact that you're going to have to work hard and smart in order to achieve the level of success. If you're listening to this podcast, the level of success I know that you dream and desire and deserve for that matter. So the first question, kind of sub-question that goes with this is, why do I need to work hard and smart? Well, the answer to that question is really pretty damn simple. If you think about all the other entrepreneurs that are out there, a high number of them are out there grinding away after the same goal that you are, and they have the same shot that you have at attaining it. So working hard is a way to level the playing field. I know everyone dreams of that, hey, I sure would like to be able to work 4 hours a week and do whatever I want with the rest of the time. And, it's attainable. There is a way to get there. However, the only way to get there from all those that I've chatted with that have attained it is by throwing in, all in, right? Like Zach Babcock said back in his interview, I don't remember the number off the top of my head, jump off the cliff and grow wings on the way down. Well, I think what else needs to be added to that is the 4,000, the 400,000, let's say the 4,000 hours of work that go into it prior to anyone being able to kick back and now just keep that engine humming with that 4 hours a week. Girl, dude, guys, gals, you're gonna have to put in the time. That's all there is to it. You're gonna have to get dirt under your fingernails. You're gonna have to bang your knuckles. You're gonna have to get down and dirty. Period. But here's a saving grace. While you're doing that, working smart is making the most out of every minute of that hard work that you're putting in. To just milk every drop out of every single moment of those 4,000 hours that you're going to have to put in. That's a multiplier, right? And quite often, someone who would normally have to put in 4,000 hours to get to that 4-hour work week, right? Someone who works hard and smart might be able to pull it off, say, in 3,000, maybe even with a real multiplier of intelligence, 2,000. You're still going to have to put in the work, because at the end of the day, as many of you may know, and if you don't know, I'm going to tell you right now, working smart is that multiplier that can give you a 2x, 3x, 5x, even 10x output for every single hour that you put in. But let's be careful here. If you're 10xing bad results by not working hard and smart, right, then you're just going to get that mediocre milquetoast, mamby-pamby kind of results, which is not what you're looking for, right? No. See, I picture you out there just working insanely hard, busting your hump, right? Get the dirt under your fingernails, busting your knuckles, maybe even bumping an elbow or two, right? You trip, you stumble, you bumble, you fall, you faceplant, you get right back up. You don't even bother to dust yourself off. You start grinding away. Now, let's 10x that with the work smart factors, okay? So let's start with one of the first work smart tactics. And I'm not going to go into all the software things because there's a million of them out there. But one of the things, what was it? Simon Sinek talked about is understanding your why. And you've heard me talk about it. Good God, when was it? Episode 170, I believe. Who do you need to become to be successful? Now, as I've shared here before, love Simon Sinek, loved his book. Great content. Go check it out. Definitely worthwhile. I think there's a YouTube video version of it out there. This 20-minute masterclass of understanding how to make people love your business, understanding your why and the whole 9 yards, right? Making it clear why you're in business rather than simply selling what you sell. But before we go there, let's make sure it's aligned with who you are. And that goes back to, like I mentioned earlier, episode 170. Who do you need to become to be successful? And if you go there first, then your why is aligned with your who, and those two things ring together. It's like a bell, right? You tap that bell and that resonating chime that comes out, especially those big hanging wind chimes. I love wind chimes. Those big hanging wind chimes that have that lovely sound. And if you match the individual chimes up together, you get this resonance. It's like, you can almost feel it vibrating your soul. Knowing who you are and your why, super smart. It's going to resonate in your soul. You're going to get up in the morning. You're going to be pushed to do what you want to do rather than have to pull yourself up out of bed and do it. All right. So check out episode 170. Who do you need to become to be successful? And that will help you understand your why. And should you happen to have a team that you're working with that's working for you, it will help you push them via the motivators that make them who they are and why they are there to help you and your organization, which leads right into the next tip, which is surround yourself with hardworking people, right? I mean, we've all heard that old adage that you're the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. Now, most folks take that into consideration of those above them, right? Who are those folks at those masterminds that they're spending their time with? Well, how about those folks you spend your time with in your organization every single day? Yeah, there's a lot of truth in there. So if you're in there and you just happen to have a whole ton of, lazy people who are looking for shortcuts and ways to avoid work and the next fad tactic that's out there. That's going to seem normal to you, and you're going to start following that pattern. If on the other hand, though, you surround yourself with motivated people who never shy away from the dirt and the fingernails and the bloody knuckles, then that mindset will rub off on you as well. And it works both ways, yeah? If they're looking up to you and you're out there busting up and grinding away, they're going to be looking up to you and they're going to be following that lead. And while you're looking for those hardworking people, make sure you find those hardworking people that align with you and your core values and the core values that you're building for your organization. I just got off an interview with Gina Suzanne, which will be airing in the next few weeks here. And that's a key. She brings some really good gems to the forefront about hiring practice. A little teaser for you for an upcoming episode. Now, I think the next thing we need to pay attention to is all the damn distractions that are around us, right? This one is so simple, it almost begs not to be mentioned, but I think I'd be remiss not to mention it. It's so simple just to turn off your email, turn off your phone, or at least turn off all the alerts for your social media, right? Maybe you need to keep your phone on. You got a missus, you got some kids out there. But turn off all those things that are distracting you and that may be keeping you from giving it 100% of your attention while you're sitting down to work. So here's the thing. We as humans, we're kind of wired. We're like water. Right? If you pour water down some sort of incline or decline, the water's going to take the path of least resistance. And guess what? We humans, we're going to do the same damn thing, right? And these distractions give you a path of least resistance. I mean, it's far easier to pick up your phone and answer an email or a text from a friend, a coworker, potentially even a client or a spouse, right? Or one of your kids. It's a lot easier to do that than it is to sit down and grind away at the hard work. So turn the distractions off. That way, the hard work becomes easier by default, and you become more efficient as a result. Remember that 10x factor we were talking about. Okay, enough of the working harder parts, right? We all get the working harder parts. I think the only other note I had in here about working harder is chunk down your tasks so that they're far more manageable. But let's get to the smarter part, right? I think the smarter part is where a lot of us stumble, bumble, trip, and fall and totally faceplant. I know it was a piece of my learnings over time. And the first thing was about delegating and delegating correctly. And I think the key to delegating correctly is to find someone with the motivated skill set to get the tasks done as good as or better than you. I know no one's going to do it as good as me. Okay, let's find someone that's got the motivated skill set to get the task done. Okay, so that you can move on to higher priority, higher pressure, higher need tasks. That way you're easily 2xing, if not more, your time. So work smart. And I think one of the things that keeps people from doing this is, oh gosh, the time it'll take me to offload this task to someone, I could have gotten it done. Yeah, maybe. But in the time it would take you to offload that task, you would do that once. How many more times is that task going to arise, right? If it's copy, for example, there's going to be lots of times that's going to come up. So if you can sit down and spend that hour or 2 hours articulating the style of voice you want for your copy to the person that's now going to be taking over the copy, then that 1 hour is going to turn into 10, 20, 30 hours down the road that you do not have to keep doing, all right? There's that 10x factor right off the bat. So invest the time in finding the right people and bringing them up to speed, and be very clear and very descriptive in the instructions for the task that you want to have done. And then the next piece is automating. Oh man, we can delegate some things to technology that we haven't thought about. Here's a very, very simple example. So during the norm of our days, there's probably a number of common replies to FAQs frequently asked questions that we get about ourselves, about our business. Well, and every time we type that, we're spending, 10, 20, 30 seconds, depending on the reply. Well, there are tools out there like A-Text or whatever, where you can create a common reply with a shortcut. And then now all you got to do is go, hey, Control A or whatever the shortcut might be. And now that 20 or 30 seconds is just popped right into your phone or your desktop. And now you can just add the little customization nuances that you want. Some of these even have customizations inserted into a quote unquote canned reply. And there are of course tools like Zapier, or is it Zapier or Zapier? Anyway, that you can start linking things together and connecting. So you do the work once and it gets zapped to the other places that need to go. The next one, and this one's going to seem almost counterintuitive, take breaks, y'all. Oh my God. So many times people just keep grinding away 8, 6, 8, 10, 12 hours straight. Here's what you don't realize. The quality of your work deteriorates past a certain point. Now, your point might be 4 hours. Your point might be 6 hours. But after that point, it starts to deteriorate where you're working harder to get the same amount of work you would have gotten done earlier in an hour. It's now taking you an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, or 2 hours. So take some periodic breaks, whether they're 15-minute breaks when you take lunch, for example. Don't sit there and work through your lunch. Right? Get up, move away, or do something else during the lunch. If you sit at your desk and eat your lunch, that's fine. Say you have an hour for lunch, take a half hour of that, listen to some music, right? Call your wife, call your spouse, do something other than the work, right? Disconnect your brain let it recharge some so that when you come back, you're fresh and ready to rock and roll. And I think another thing, another working smarter tip I can leave you with is pick a tool and use it. So many times we get pulled over to the left or pulled over to the right by the next new shiny object, the new tool, the new technique, which is fine. I know I fall victim to it occasionally myself. But here's where I'm going to go. Pick the tool you want to use and then damn well use it, right? Stop mucking around with this little thing and that little thing. If you're going to try HubSpot, use HubSpot. If you're going to try Microsoft Project, use Microsoft Project. If you're going to try, Trello boards, fine, try them. But really give it the good old college try. Get in there, really use it. Doesn't matter how much you use it, but try to pick something and use it consistently across your business, your life, and your team. This is going to save you all kinds of time alone in syncing up this tool versus that tool and that tool versus another tool and spending time on things that probably don't even need to happen. All right, I've already gone over longer than I have, but I just get passionate about some of these topics and I just can't stop telling you about it. So on Friday, we're going to talk about entrepreneurship, the way to escape the industrial machine matrix. Ooh, it sounds almost ominous, right? All right, you're going to want to check this one out. This is a pretty good one. All right, now before you leave us, if you're looking for some help with your podcast, whether you're looking to launch one, right? Or you already have one and need help with the editing and promotion, or maybe you're looking to monetize your podcast in some other ways and you're struggling to figure them out, reach out to me at Tracy at darkhorseschooling.com, or you can go to darkhorseschooling.com/coaching, fill out that form right there. Let's chat. That will get you to schedule what I call a power huddle session, right? And I'll make sure you come away from that power huddle session with a success plan. No charge for the power huddle session. I just want to give you some value. Again, that's darkhorseschooling.com/coaching. Let's see how I can be of service to you in helping you start, restart, or kickstart your business and or your podcast. Now, I know, like I mentioned earlier, you want to keep getting all these solo success tips as well as the amazing interview episodes. You go on down there, right? You go on down there, you hit that subscribe button, you give us a 5-star rating, you drop some kind words in the reviews. Heck, ask a question in there. I read every single one of them. Again, these subscribed ratings or reviews are the listener's way of telling those podcast platforms out there that you're giving us a thumbs up, and they kick us up a little bit in the ranking so that we can reach more driven entrepreneurs just like you. So please take a moment and show the love. And with that, until next episode, I'm going to leave you as I always do. Think successfully and take action.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
And you know this!
Thanks for tuning in.
Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.